There's a reason there's a multi-billion-dollar industry built around trying to teach people how to be happy. Being happy isn't easy, and there's also a reason for that. Being happy has little to do with evolutionary success. Our big brains were built to help us get our genes into the next generation, not to feel the oneness of existence or find peace and tranquility among the hustle and bustle of the concrete and chloroplast jungles. Evolution means getting things done, the pursuit of happiness. By happy, I'm not talking about the kind of full-face pleasantness plastered on ads for life insurance. I'm not talking about excitement, and I'm definitely not talking about pleasure. If happiness requires the presence or expectation of doing or consuming something, then it's not the kind of happiness I'm referring to. The happiness promised at the end of all those self-help and spirituality books and mediation retreats is really a kind of contentment. A pleasant feeling for sure, though one that doesn't require the presence of anything but your full acceptance and awareness of your own existence. It's happiness without all the things to distract you from your unhappiness. A feeling of there being nothing you need to do in order to feel complete. The evolutionary necessity of discontent. The evolutionary reason why this happiness, the kind that exists devoid of the presence or expectation of doing or consuming something, is so difficult to attain is because a key part of surviving and reproducing is to go out looking for things, like food or a mate. And when you think you found it, getting excited enough to pursue it fervently. Or if you haven't found it, getting panicked and stressed enough to continue looking for it fervently. Of course, we extremely socially complex humans don't go hunting only, or directly, for food and sex. Our hunt for these things gets filtered through our socially complex existence, and so we go hunting instead for status and power and friends and fame. All things which give us easy access to the resources needed for evolutionary success. But regardless of the level of sophistication you adopt as the target of your hunting, you're still hunting nonetheless. And all this hunting is hard work. Furthermore, if it's not easy for you, if the things you're hunting avoid you, or best you, or slip from your fingers, or get snatched by someone or something bigger, then all this hunting can be deeply stressful. Indeed, it is, from evolution's point of view, life-threatening. Dopamine and discontent. Not satisfying your wants threatens your chances of passing on your genes, as is not seeking to satisfy those wants. That's why the fulfillment of this hunting is temporary, and must be for evolutionary success. If desire didn't respawn after fulfillment, then we wouldn't have gone on to cover and populate the entire planet. This is how our dopamine system works. It rewards the expectation of pleasure, driving us to go out looking for it, but then it gets reabsorbed quickly after we're gone and gratified ourselves so that it's ready to fire us off to the next thing, while leaving us back where we started. So we want and want and want and want, and our wants will never be satisfied for more than a fleeting moment, unless of course we can find a way to stop wanting. The strange mathematics of contentment. The first task is to realize that the state of mind you're hoping to achieve by getting what you want won't actually come from getting it, but rather from letting go of the need to. I know that sounds a bit tautological. The way to stop wanting things is to stop wanting them, but there really is something to that. It's a strange kind of mathematics. You think you want X, but if you think hard about it, what you really want is the feeling that comes from getting X. But that feeling you get doesn't last very long, so you end up wanting more X. Perhaps you can sustain this for a while, but each time you get X, you realize that the reason you keep wanting more of it is because it's not supplying you with Y, a feeling that seemed to be motivating you to seek X, but which never seemed to actually come from it. X can be anything: sex, food, money, romance, a partner, a job, an award, some status among your friends of family or community, some amount of validation. Y is contentment. In realizing that Y is what you actually want, you then go hunting for it. But there's a problem. Y is contentment. And what is contentment? If contentment is the feeling of fulfilling your wants, then what's the point of hunting for contentment if hunting implies that there's something you want but don't have? And contentment means having what you want. Hunting for contentment doesn't make sense, because contentment isn't getting what you want. It is rather the state of not wanting, the not actual mathematics of contentment. We think that what will make us happy is balancing this equation. What you want equals what you have. So if what you want is the set A, B, C, D, E, F, G, then to be happy, you need to obtain and sustain. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But someone with a set of wants, B, D, G, will have an easier time achieving happiness than the person with a set of wants, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and the person with B an easier time still. You might see where this is going. The person with the set of wants 0, the empty set, won't have to do any achieving of wants. They will achieve happiness without having to obtain and sustain anything, because 0 also balances the equation of what you want, equaling what you have, and what we want is just to balance the equation. 0 equals 0 is contentment. Moderating modernity. The point is that contentment doesn't come from getting what you need and want. Rather, it's a state of mind you can achieve simply by giving up the wanting and needing. That doesn't mean giving up the enjoyment of doing or consuming things. These are still allowed to be external sources of joy and pleasure. It just means letting go of thinking that you need those things in order to be content or to be happy. That's the first step, at least. The rest is kind of training yourself on that fact by giving things up and making clear physical statements to yourself that you really don't need anything. But much of that goes beyond what can be expected of us in modern, industrial, Western societies. That's why becoming a Buddhist monk seems like an extreme move. But if we can at least make the first realization that contentment comes not from fulfilling our wants, but foregoing them, we can start to push back against the powerful force of modern society built on endlessly renewable wants. Contentment doesn't get you buying must-have new styles by the box load once a week, but contentment is the right kind of happiness, and you don't need those new styles to get. In fact, you don't need anything. I hope it resonated with you. Let me know your thoughts below and subscribe to Whispering Ideas for more videos. Have a great day.